alias Kayan. Hi, Mike. Can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you just fine.
I just tried your game, and honestly, what were you thinking, man? It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. I'm playing like for 2 hours now, and I can't even get past the trees, the first trees.
Well, the Japanese really pioneered this whole concept of these crazy hard games. And I played one of the earlier ones about a year ago as a flash game called Owada, and it had all these weird references here and there, but the game wasn't really hard. You had to guess a lot, but once you knew what you could do, you could just go through the whole game. You know everything.
Well, obviously...
So if I want to be the guy, I like this idea of these heavy video game references and this difficulty, but I want it to actually be, like, legitimately hard at other points. So I sort of just mixed the two because I just thought it would be a just fun thing to do. I was messing around, and I had some guys play it, and they loved it, and I thought they were crazy, but they made me keep working on it, and I think it turned out pretty well for what it is.
It's crazy, really. I really dig the game, but it's so hard. It's unbelievable. Would you agree to say that I Want to Be the Guy is one of the hardest game ever created?
No, I really wouldn't say that. I mean, I know plenty of people who've beaten the game. I don't know anybody who's beaten Battletoads. So, I mean, it's hard, but you can get through it with enough effort. I think the average gamer with enough time can get through the game. I think it's a game that's just hard enough to really bring people out of their comfort zone.
Okay.
I think a lot of people perceive it as really hard, and it's really unfair. It's probably one of the most unfair games ever made.
So, what way? How did you came up doing a game like this? Why? I mean, usually if someone develops a game, he's not into doing it frustrating or unfair. But it seems that this was your aim to make it very disappointing disappointing experience for the player.
I really don't think of it as a disappointing experience. My goal in the game is for the people who really dig the game. They're the type of people that are going to get hit by a falling apple or an apple that flies up, and they're going to laugh at how ridiculous that is. They're going to get killed by Gutsman falling down on the Mega Man character select screen, and they're going to laugh at it. And they're going to die, but it's not going to be a big deal because it's funny and they can laugh it off. But really, why I made the game, honestly, is I have other more sound games I want to make, but I was thinking, like, what would be a really good game to practice making other games? And I was thinking, well, a game with a lot of traps and events that happen differently all the time. There's a lot of variety and coding in the game to make every single trap operate differently. And I saw that the Japanese were already doing it, and for some reason, it's really fun. This whole concept of brutally difficult games that are fun is something that doesn't make sense from a game design standpoint, but people still play them, including myself, and I really don't know why. I think we're all just a little masochistic at heart.
Probably. I guess it's you just have the need to master it in a way. So that's usually if I die in the first level of a game, like 2 hours into the game, and I can't even manage to get past the first screen, I would throw it out the window. But in the case of I Want to Be the Guy, you know it's planned this way, so you want to be smarter than the guy who developed it. You know what I mean? So, like, I can beat this game. He's not better than me.
Show him.
Yeah, I will show him.
Everybody seems to assume I'm like the guy who made Ninja Gaiden. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but that guy's like a real ass, and he tells everybody, if you can't beat my game, you're a sissy girl or whatever. I just want the game to be fun. I want the people who enjoy it, I want them to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny that a lot of people build up this thing like, I'll show him, this guy's an ass. And really, I'm like, well, if you don't like the game, that's fine. You know.
Absolutely. So, would you say it's easier to develop a game that's easy, or would you say it's more difficult to develop a game that's really hard?
They each have their own challenges, because if you make a game really easy, you have to worry about things like, okay, well, if they're not going to have any challenge playing the game, I need to make it so everything they do feels really powerful and really strong. You know, a game with big explosions, something that makes the game satisfying. And that takes a lot of design. aspect that's really difficult. For a hard game, you're walking a really thin line between fun and, as you said, throw it out the window.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they both present their own challenges, but I think easy games would be easier. Because I think that's the reason you don't see a lot of hard games now, is because most developers don't want to take the risk of making a hard game.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that it's that the players that play like 20 years now, that they need more games that they're a challenge to them, but for the mainstream, like there's always new people coming and playing new games and buy new consoles like the Nintendo Wii, and would you say that for them it's necessary to develop games that's targeted to a broader audience?
It really is a challenge. I think we're hitting at the point now with the Wii, where everybody and their grandma's playing it,
yeah.
Where we're starting to see games that are like, these are casual games. They have a casual level of difficulty. But I think there's always going to exist games that are meant to be hard and challenging. It's just different audiences. I mean, yeah, I think there needs to be both. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of difficult games, but I know a lot of people aren't, and they should be able to enjoy games too. Mm-hmm. So I think as long as everybody has enough games to satisfy them, it works out for everyone.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, I take it you're a big fan of the classic games, like of the 8-bit or 16-bit era, shoot-'em-up styles. Like.
Oh, absolutely. So, there's not a lot of new games I like. I'll be honest, the last console game I played was God Hand, which was awesomely difficult, but that was like the last modern game I've played in a long time. The only other thing I play is fighting games, really, just because there's nothing more challenging than fighting another human being.
So classical beat-em-ups like Virtua Fighter.
Oh, love Fighter. I still play Street Fighter 2.
Really?
That stuff never gets old, yeah.
I'm considered one of Germany's best Street Fighter 2 players. Well,
really? Are you looking forward to HD Remix?
Of course I am. Of course.
Oh, I am so excited about that.
Well, at least I consider myself the best, but I don't know what the other people say. But when you compare the 80s or the 90s of video gaming to nowadays games, what would you say? Is there a lack of creativity, a lack of understanding, or I don't know? What's your take on that?
It's kind of right now like American movies. Mm-hmm. The problem right now is all these things cost so much money that people are afraid to take risks. Like, why would we do something special when we can rip off Halo or something? We know that game makes a lot of money. We know people like firing guns. Mm-hmm. We'll just make another one of those, and we'll make off safe. We'll make off good. It's not that there's a lack of ideas. It's just that the people with the money don't feel right picking up these ideas. They're like, no, tone that down a little bit, put a safety hat on it, so it's not as risky, so we might make our money back.
Mm-hmm. So it's all about the money.
It's all about the money. Yeah. That's why indie games are probably the most diverse games right now, because we can make games with no money. I Want to Be the Guy costs me nothing. Mm-hmm. It just costs me time,
Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah. So I don't know what's upcoming your upcoming project. You're still working on I Want to Be the Guy, or am I wrong?
I Want to Be the Guy and I Want to Save the Kids is on hold right now. I just announced my new game in development, which is it's called Brave Earth, mm-hmm. and it is a full-on. I'm sure you've all played Symphony of the Night, Castlevania game.
Of course. Loved it.
Oh, such a classic. It's in that vein, the so-called Metroidvania game, mm-hmm. and it has fighting game mechanics. Okay. And I'm hopefully going to have even voice dialogue and everything. This is going to be a much more serious project than I Want to Be the Guy.
Oh,
this is the project that I Want to Be the Guy was training me for, basically. So I'm looking forward to doing this. So I might work and polish up I Want to Be the Guy a little bit, or I Want to Save the Kids a little bit. When I get so sick of working on this, I need to take a break, because it'll be a while. So what are you developing the new game for what platform? It's PC. It's going to be made with a crappy game maker like I Want to Be the Guy. Well, a better one. Mm-hmm. But so it's just going to be PC only. which is kind of sad. I would like the possibility of seeing ports of these games, but, you know, if it's good enough, maybe somebody will be willing to help remake it from scratch.
Okay. Mike, our time's up, but I thank you for your time that you spent with us, and I'm looking forward for your new game, and of course, maybe an easy version of I Want to Be the Guy, so at least I can finish it.
Good luck with that.
I will need it, probably. Mike, thanks a lot, and have a good day.
You too. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.